second week running, the big headline is still the terror module, the doctor module, the white collar module, whatever you might call it. There are now horror stories coming out about how this module put together its entire, explosive and put together that IED. All my colleagues here have been tracking the story right from the word go. Let me start with you, Anvit. You've just come back from New. Now, as far as I know, the doctor, Dr. Umar Nabi, who's the Red Fort bomber, he supposedly traveled from Al-Falah, where he was employed, to New. What is it that the people in New told you when you traveled there? What is the information about Dr. Umar that they have?
So last few days of him, starting from November 1st to November 9th, is the place that where he had lived is New. He had rented out an accommodation, and what we are being told that one of the peons in Al-Falah University has helped him get that place. He had been staying there. What the owners of the house have told police that he hardly used to come out. The I-20 was parked there, and on November 9th he abruptly left the house in his I-20. Also, it appears that it was a well-informed decision and not an incidental one. For two reasons. One, that because the ecosystem that exists in New, the discrete rental ecosystem, no one hardly gets any documentation done when you come and hire a room for rent. Also, secondly, the last 10 days were very instrumental to this blast and the entire conspiracy that was there. So all the operational decisions must have been taken in those 10 days when Umar Nabi refrained himself to that one room and did not step out.
Yeah, I am told to the extent that even, the house owners got alarmed when human excreta started flowing out of that room.
So he did not even come out to use the washrooms. He barely came out to eat, and then also there were not people visiting him. So they had deliberately maintained that clandestine lifestyle. He had maintained that, and hardly anyone came to meet him. Hardly did he step out. So neighbors also say that they have hardly seen him. Some of them have said they have seen the I-20 car, and when he left, the owner of the house, they informed neighbors that the man they had kept on rent, the one who had hired the room, he left abruptly. So this is what they have told the law enforcement also. And a lot of people have been coming in from NIA, from Faridabad police, Delhi police, and that is one reason why the locals have also temporarily shifted out to avoid this, being questioned by the law enforcement and agencies.
Also this is important to note that he went to New right after Muzammil was arrested. Remember, both Muzammil and Shaheen were picked up by the JKP on the 29th of October, and hence he knew that he would that the agencies are gunning for him and he would be arrested any day. And probably the last nail was the press conference that was done by the Faridabad police, taking credit of the recoveries that they have made, naming Dr. Umar as a person who is fleeing from there. And also there is another involvement of New that has come up in this entire investigation as well. Umar and Muzammil had also bought ammonium nitrate from a shop in New as well. So that connection has also come up. The CCTV from that shop has also come out. His vehicle was seen frequenting New from Al-Falah many a time. Al-Falah and New approximately 40-50 kilometers away, and both fall almost in the Mewat region itself.
Arjun, what is police telling you? They bought ammonium nitrate, urea, fine. How were they putting together this explosive? Anvit has told us TATP was used. TATP is not easily available on a shop. What does the police know about how this IED was getting assembled? I'm told a grinder has also now come into the picture.
The information that has come out at this point in time, that the lab of that Al-Falah lab was being used to carry out these experiments to figure out the exact amount of these chemicals and oxidizers that could be mixed together to eventually get an explosion. And that explosion that they were trying to do was also from a they wanted something to instigate it, and heat is one of those things that if at all there is an amount of heat that is touched to that chemical compound, then there will be an explosion. So over the past few months, they were trying small batches of mixing of chemicals and were trying to make an explosion inside the lab of Al-Falah, and that is the reason why the lab has also been seized. The NIA has also taken in custody some beakers and other equipments that might have been used in such experiments as well. So this is one thing that has come out in the investigation, that over the past many months itself, they were trying to form the exact composition of this chemical.
And they were getting these explosives off the shelf, like easily available. Like I know TATP uses acetone. Acetone is commonly available chemical. So they were using these commonly available chemicals, mixing them. There's also do-it-yourself kind of videos that the handlers share.
These are doctors, and they have have very easy access to these chemicals, and specifically inside universities as well, where their chemistry labs are there, the bio labs are there. So it's easy for the university and especially the faculty, because they have those kind of contacts that you do not need all the paperwork that is required generally to get such chemicals. And these are very readily available chemicals, as you mentioned, acetone. It's available in every house. But how do you make a explosive out of it? The DIY videos that were shared, the commands that might have been coming to them, all this is actually very, very precarious and very, very scary at this point.
So you went to Al-Falah.
Came out with a statement as soon as these claims were made, and they say that no kind of a substance was actually recovered. But the police's version and the kind of recoveries that we all saw, because I remember the second or the third day of the blast, I went to Al-Falah, and in fact a big truck of the Haryana police, when it had entered, it was completely empty, but when it came out, you could barely see from what was inside, and they had good big cartons that were kept inside. So probably it was certain kind of evidence that they were picking up, and definitely they would have
from inside the university.
Absolutely.
Okay. I hope this was not the evidence.
Previously been used, like in Paris bombings and Brussels bombings and London also. Also because it doesn't have a nitrogen base. Usually these detectors are tuned to detect nitrogen base. So it is also undetectable in that manner.
How does TATP work? I mean,
it is very sophisticated. It can blast with a minimum impact. And in India, I don't think so. There is any blast that has
any
happened.
Precedent,
Yes. So in Europe, we have seen multiple cases where TATP was used. But certainly, these are initial assessment of officers. After maybe say 1 or 2 months, it will get clarified by the agencies that what kind of material they use, whether they mixed, whether it was a cocktail or it was something else. So and Arunima, this case is very important. Why? Because NIA also can postpone its flagship annual anti-terror conference. So certainly now NIA is completely focusing, they have very limited numbers of officers, and this case is completely different. This case has footprints in South, J&K, UP, and even in Turkey and other places also. So to understand the gravity of this module,
100% NIA's focus is currently on this case and not where. But I just want to take you back when you went to Al-Falah. Al-Falah's name is now coming in with an Indian Mujahideen module as well. So it's not as if only in this module Al-Falah's name is coming up. Back in 2008, when Indian Mujahideen was planning blast, at least one of their accused from the Azamgarh module had a connection with Al-Falah. He was doing a BTech there. When you went there, the students, the faculty, the general administration, what is it that they were telling you? I mean, did they smell something amiss, or has this come as a complete shocker?
Students definitely have different versions, though absolutely none of them wants to come on record, because most of them are feeling really afraid, because some say that we are not even involved and such a thing has happened in our university, and we are being heckled by the investigators, because every day some police is coming, some investigator is coming, and they are questioning them. So they are quite amiss. But some of them who have we met, and somebody who was actually under the studentship of Umar and these other people, they say that they were quite normal when they look, but there was something.
Did they ever try to radicalize them?
The one I met actually didn't say anything.
Did anyone say they ever heard anything from these doctors which made their
So the only thing that has been said by students and the faculty members who were staying near that room, building number 17, room number 13, that was Muzammil's room, they say that they used to have meetings inside the room itself. Both Shahina, Umar, Muzammil, all of them used to meet very frequently inside the room number 13 itself. They had very limited social interaction with anyone, be it the students or for that matter with their colleagues as well. They had very little interaction with them, and it looked like now since it has happened, and now people see in hindsight, and hence they try to join those dots. So now these people think that yes, now it looks fishy, because generally no one cares if the person is not speaking to you or not indulging in your parties or whatever. You won't care that much.
But there are students from Al-Falah who are still under scanner. I believe at least 10 students are very much in the focus of the inner circle. 3 from Kashmir.
Also because this Mirza Shadab Beg, he was the main
Indian
conspirator
Mujahideen
of 2008 Delhi and Ahmedabad blast. Also in Pune bakery blast. So when he has appeared as a student, BTech student of that university, now radar goes on many other students who have passed out. Also the future of many other students who have actually studied there and gone out and they're working. I think their future also hangs in uncertainty, because now will they get jobs when they go for interviews and they say I'm an alumni or alumnus of Al-Falah University? How would they be looked upon? So that also is
Just
a
adding
bigger
to the students angle, it is very interesting to note that at least 5 to 6 players who are playing in the IPL have graduated from Al-Falah University as well.
Wow.
And they had released an entire list of students who, players like Anshul Kamboj and other players, they have all graduated from Al-Falah University.
So they're trying to build a case, positive,
yes.
a positive
But
case
that,
for
yes.
themselves.
But still, you know, they have mentioned a lot of things on their website which in fact say that they're a NAC A grade college, and the NAAC has issued them a show cause notice saying that, you know, you've never applied for
One
a
thing I
NAAC.
never understood, help me understand, you know, people who have been dismissed from Kanpur for not attending college, not doing their duty, they are your part of your faculty. People who have been dismissed by LG of Jammu and Kashmir for their terror harboring activities, they are part of your faculty. A man who failed class 9th, got a BTech degree. I mean, I don't know anybody who's failed class 9th or class 10th going on to do BTech. Usually you have to be academically proficient. How does Al-Falah do? Al-Falah do its cross-checking either of staff or of students?
You know, as of what I could speak to, because the day when the first statement from Al-Falah came out, I called up their PRO and he was like, I don't know any statement being issued, and the statement that I had in my hand had a signature of the Vice Chancellor being there. So there was something amiss as far as this administration is concerned. Either some people are influencing that administration or there is something amiss, because when
now
we
ED has also gotten into the act.
And that's very shocking because what the ED found out that they had done away with many laws that were required. In fact, the UGC accreditation and other accreditations that were over there as well, they were also not to the point. One of the accreditations was not renewed for the last 6-7 years itself, and that is what the case that ED is building upon, that they advertised these applications, they got students into their university, and hence the fees that they have taken from them.
And now we are told that even funding activity was going on. At least 25 lakh rupees was raised by these suspected doctors from Al-Falah. Students were asked to pay. How did the administration know nothing about what was going on?
Importantly, there is a local intelligence also.
Yeah.
Local police deals with the local, you know, they interact with students also, faculty also. So personally I feel it is the failure of local intelligence also. And as he also mentioned that, you know, the Faridabad police commissioner did a PC and he named that Umar is, you know, we are absconding. So basically you did not pass the information to Delhi police.
No, also you alerted him. If you named him, you alerted him that you are under our scanner, we know who you are. Perhaps that in hindsight.
Maybe that has triggered.
nitrate being found in Faridabad. Obviously, it is not for Faridabad. It is for a place like Delhi that is in the vicinity. And when Umar flees, you have not given a tip off to Delhi police that someone has fled.
You actually drove down all the way and
Yeah.
saw the security arrangement. Anybody can drive a explosive laden car.
No interstate
for this
coordination.
50 to 55 kilometers of a stretch from, in fact, Delhi, like from Al-Falah to at least Red Fort, it's almost 60 kilometers.
Nobody stopped you, nobody checked this even after the blast.
Let we stopping or anything. I just found one barricade which was like 2 kilometers from, in fact, Al-Falah University, and right as you take a right, there is a big commissionerate kind of office of Faridabad police, like of the Dodge district that was there, and they were doing check-in. So I asked those officers that, is it today or has it been there? So he just smiled and said, it has been there for a very long time.
Also tell me, when Muzammil and that Imam from Jammu and Kashmir and the other doctors were brought to Patiala House, you were there covering them.
Yeah.
Anything in the body language? I know the face was covered with the mask, but when they went inside the courtroom, what did you really think? I mean, is there anything?
I'll go back to that the body language got an advocate removed, and that is something, you know, that comes to be a very interesting, because the first day when Amir was actually produced and the remand advocate who we fortunately got, and we just took a guess. I was with somebody and she seemed somebody who was connected to the case, so we talked to her, we asked her will you speak, and when she started speaking by mistake, or probably she was wanting to say it, she said that, you know, this is something that he was very calm and composed, and now she's getting a
Muzammil?
Amir.
Okay.
The first, koi shikan nahi thi. I remember her words completely. And when I completed my tour, I was a little shocked, because usually lawyers don't say this for their clients, because even if you are a remand advocate, you don't say this because you are representing somebody.
No, but I'm you know, that body language bit also brings me to that video which has now gone viral. Investigators feel that Dr. Umar's video where he's trying to justify Fidain.
Fidain attack.
What investigators told me was that he was desperate. He would get into fight with his other module members who were not convinced that suicide bombing is the way ahead, and he would try and convince them. Also his visit to Nu, I think that kind of matches, because he had gone into isolation. He's trying to make these videos, numerous versions of these videos found on his phone. His phone was given to his younger brother. He then threw it in the drain. So clearly there was somebody who was acting at their behest, trying to convince them that this is the way ahead. Closing comment, I am very short of time. What is the way forward? Are there more module members? Just very quickly.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, yes.
You think there are more module
yes,
members?
and that is being investigated, I'm sure.
With 3 tons of ammonium nitrate being recovered, it is hard to believe that this was only one pocket where it was being accumulated. So there has to be more people, more sleeper cells who can be activated at any time, and this is the reason why multi-agency probe and raids are happening.
And that is why from north to south, east to west, NIA
This
is
could
just
be the biggest terror module case.
One thing
Homegrown.
I like to say before closing this, I have seen this kind of a security in Patiala House Court last time only when Tahavur
Tahavur
Rana
Rana
was
was
produced
brought in.
at 2 a.m. in the night, and I think it
Yeah.
was more than that.
And I think
When-
even if you compare it with 2611, homegrown terror, the only comparison you can think about is Indian Mujahideen, which just rocked all of India in 2008, 2009. After that, this kind of a homegrown terror module is the biggest security challenge. And I think in the days to come, we'll hear more about how from blood pressure and machines which deal with medicine to grinder and ammonium nitrate, these doctors have come a full circle. You tell us about what you think about this particular investigation. If there's anything that you want our colleagues and I to find out, to investigate in terms of stories in this, do connect with us on our social media handles.